Let's talk about convolution. Convolution currently plays a huge part in the burgeoning color bass and future riddim sound, and is extremely versatile and powerful if you know how to bend it to your will. The details on exactly how convolution engines work is, well, convoluted. I'm not going to explain it in this video, since you likely already understand, or if not, there are better resources out there for learning. What I do want to share is how we can abuse convolution to achieve interesting results fast and cheap. In essence, we can flatten more complex effects by imparting them into a clean impulse. This saves on latency and processing in exchange for making the effect completely static. Allow me to demonstrate with a classic example, Reverb. Here, I have an expensive and processor-heavy algorithmic hybrid reverb plugin. Ironically, it too is part convolution reverb. Plugins like this are costly to run in a live session, take a long time to load into your project, and have a ton of features that can make them sometimes a bit unwieldy. Here, I have a utility used to record, edit, and play back convolution impulses. It comes with an impulse generator, which makes it particularly useful for my purposes. I've gone ahead and recorded that impulse into this file here, and I will share this in the description. It's edited to peak after one sample, which I think is close enough for digital audio purposes at high resolution. What I'm going to do is feed this clean impulse into the expensive reverb, record the output into another channel, and see just what we get. Voila! The response of our impulse through the effect. Now, we can take this IR, load it into a convolution engine, and suddenly this expensive reverb plugin has been reduced to a sample only a few megabytes in size. And that's at 96K 32-bit PCM. This could easily be compressed further to save space without losing much quality at all, though I prefer to store my IRs at 96K so that I can pitch them down some without completely losing all of the information in the highs. Let's take a listen to what this sounds like on a simple saw wave pluck. And now, let's play that same pluck through the original reverb. I can't easily tell a difference, and in the context of music, it would be imperceptible. We've essentially taken this plugin completely out of the equation. And now anyone that has access to a convolution engine can essentially have access to this preset. This will load faster, run with less latency, require fewer resources, achieve near identical results, and you didn't have to spend $149 US just to use it. Hopefully that communicates just how powerful convolution can be. Convolution can capture more than just reverb, however. Delay, comb filters, static phasers, there's a ton of stuff you can do to an impulse in order to generate an IR. Even some non-linear processing can have an interesting effect. Here, I've recorded an impulse through a built reduction filter. And when we play our synth through this IR, we get a rather lo-fi sound. As you would expect. Obviously, this isn't one-to-one, but the premise remains. Thinking creatively about processing your IRs can lead to predictable and useful results. Here's a gated reverb. Here's a huge low-end shelf boost. Other interesting things happen when you make your IR a filter instead of noise. Here, I've played a D minor triad across 3 octaves with a saw pluck and recorded that. I've loaded that into our convolution engine, and I'm playing this looped white noise click through it. Here's what that sounds like altogether. This is essentially using our convolution engine as a harmonics filter. Any frequencies that aren't present in this IR will be removed from the output. You could use this as an alternative to additive synthesis by generating a sine bank of every frequency that you want to be present. For instance, every harmonically consonant overtone of your root note, record it into an IR, and play a popular sound like a noise bass, perhaps, through it. Plenty of people have taken this sound and done way cooler things with it already. Check out Ace Aura, Skybreak, Sharks, Chime, and others for more on how to take this concept further. Just let me know in the comments when Phonon creates a justly intonated E half-sharp sine bank impulse response. I hope you've enjoyed this issue of 10-Minute Techniques. If you want more, subscribe and comment. Here's a link to the playlist. Links to where you can find me are in the description. Thank you, and stay technical.